We're going to call our meeting to order. We'll begin with the invocation by Father Dan Balmer of the St. Germain's Catholic Church. Pledge allegiance will be led by David Wittenberg, firefighter.
Good and gracious God, we give you thanks for the blessings you bestow upon us. Thank especially for the blessing of rain we received during this monsoon season. Bless your protection for all of our first responders. Please keep safe those who keep us safe. We ask your blessings upon all the parents in our town. They'd be good role models for their children. And we ask for a blessing as we begin the school year upon the teachers. Grant the abundance of patience for all the students. And also finally ask blessings and wisdom for our town council as they make decisions for affect our present and our future. Bless this in Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Father Balmer.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, David. Okay, next item is roll call. Diane?
Mayor, excuse me, Mayor. Mayor Skoog.
Present.
Vice Mayor Nye.
Here.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Grossman.
I'm here.
Councilmember Mallory.
Here.
Councilmember Rooney.
Here.
And Councilmember Whiting.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, next is proclamations. Patriot Week and Child Support Awareness. You'll read the first one.
Mayor, just so you know, the meeting is going out over the air, but it's not showing up on these screens for some reason, but it is being televised.
Healing Fields of Northern Arizona, Patriot Week, September the 7th through the 14th. Whereas from the tragedy of September the 11th, 2001, a new spirit has arisen, a stronger sense of family, community, brotherhood, and patriotism, and we have come together as Americans. And whereas America is fully committed to ensuring our freedoms remain unfettered and sovereign for all generations, now and forever. And whereas we wish to honor and remember all those who lost their lives and who have demonstrated the ultimate sacrifice for their country. And whereas we wish to honor and pay tribute to the men, women, and families who were affected in our own town, as well as those who worked so diligently to help our people recover. And whereas commencing September the 7th, 2018, with the placement of the flags of Prescott Valley Healing Fields of Northern Arizona, and with the commemoration of the tragic events of September 11th, 2001, we join the entire nation in the recognition of Patriot Day, September 11th, 2018, to remember and honor the invincible spirit of America and its heroes. Whereas this commemoration should be conducted each September the 11th throughout the land to include the promotion of global peace and goodwill, the advancement of patriotism and love of country, and the remembrance of those innocent victims who died September the 11th as heroes, one and all. Now, therefore, I, Harvey C. Skoog, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim September 7th through 14th, 2018 as Patriot Week.
Thank you, Diane. Comments, Vice Mayor?
Well, I remember very well. Let me get around here so I can see Mary. I remember when she came back and said, Laura Lee, I went to this fabulous event, and I want it to happen here. And then she said, will you help me? Who could turn Mary down? So I want to give my time to you now.
Well, thank you. But
I will admit, when I came to the town to ask permission about this, I was thinking, what would they say when I wanted to put 3,000 American flags out there in the lawn, you know? But as we all see it today and have seen it for the last 6 years, it's a beautiful event. It moves your soul. And it will continue to remind you to be grateful for the life that you have and to do the best you can in the jobs you have, in the cities that you live in, to do the best for the land that we've been blessed to live in. I appreciate all the support. Could never have done this without this community. Thank you, Laura.
Jody, do you have anything to share?
Well, I'm going to hold up my little flag here, and I'm grateful for this because for those that have served before us is so important. And I just want to, my grandfather served at the Battle of the Bulge. We have a lot of first responders here. We also have folks that have given their lives, and it's appreciated. Thank you.
Mike?
Yeah, I'd like to say a few words, and that is I think this is a great way to, I think, address the greatness of our community. And, you know, unfortunately, it had to be something that we want to memorialize, which is the 9/11 event. But in general, I think it's something that never gets old. When I come to the field every year, it's like it's brand new. And I knew when I came from Phoenix many years ago, Tempe had one, and they leave it up for 2 or 3 days, but we leave it up, I think, for a couple of weeks. So it gives a chance for all of our residents and communities to go and I guess honor the fallen from the 9/11 event, and then there are slips of information that you can actually get very personal in terms of who these individuals were. If you've forgotten, and you know there's quite a few that we lost, but it's a great way, I think, to teach children as well what we're doing and what we're commemorating. So, you know, I can't think of a better thing to do on that day than to recognize not only the folks that we lost their lives in New York, but also our fallen military, and we appreciate the service of our military today.
Rick?
I'm going to take a little bit different approach to this, and I want to give tribute to the citizens who have come out year after year since this began and have worked so hard to set up the flags and at the end to take the flags down, to man the booth, to work so hard every day to make this tribute lasting and a lasting memory, to the fire department that has worked so hard to help us store the flags between the events. You know, we have a lot of people that need to be thanked that I can't thank personally, but I do appreciate everything they're doing. We have 3 of them up here tonight, and I hope we're going to give them an opportunity to speak as well. I'm sure we will, but they represent some of the best, and I want to thank the 3 of you. Thank you very much.
I want to piggyback on that a little bit. The job Mary asked me to do that first couple of years was find the volunteers to come and physically do the work. Those volunteers were so enthusiastic that I had to go to Mary and say, Mary, you got to stop them. We have a whole crew coming in this afternoon and there won't be anything to do. And we learned from that. We don't do a schedule anymore. They come out and they're up there so quick we don't even have to schedule it. Marty?
Yeah, the Healing Field and Patriot Week is very emotional for me. I was in New York, and one of my neighbor's son was a fire marshal, and he lost his life there. So this is hard for me. Thank you.
Thank you. How about Darlene? You want to introduce your team?
I do.
And some comments?
We have Molly Holride, who is our volunteer coordinator. If anyone would like to volunteer, you can email her at healingfieldpv@gmail.com. And I have my right-hand person, Captain Jeremiah King. He brings all his firefighters and enlists the help of our PVPD. He is also the founder of the Patriot Run. And if you want to sign up for the run on the 8th, that is www.raceentry.com. And then we have Heidi Dobbs Foster, who does all things with PR. And I couldn't do it at all without these three. And I want to thank Mary Mallory for leaving me her baby to watch over and take care of. It is a labor of love. Thank you.
Ollie? 20 minutes. How about you, Captain?
I'd like to thank the town for the support for this event. The healing field and the memorial that's represented out on the field. I'd like to thank Mary for all of her diligence and all of her work in bringing that here. I'd like to thank Darlene for taking it over and pursuing it into the future. And I just want to remind everybody that to never forget means to never forget. And that's what this field is all about. We will memorialize those who have died on that day. And, for us in the fire service, we lost 343 brothers. And it tugs on my heartstrings every year, too. And so it is a very meaningful event, and if you have the opportunity and haven't, or even if you have, please take the opportunity this year from September 7th through the 14th to come out and cruise the fields. And like it was mentioned, each and every one of those flags represents a human being that lost their life on September 11th, 2001, and each one of them have a tag that says who that person is and a little bit about them. So I will. The boots that you see on the field represent a first responder that was lost, including fire, police, and military. And there's also teddy bears out there, and the teddy bears represent a child who was lost on that day as well. And like Mary said, it does move your soul. So I urge you to take the opportunity that week to come out and cruise the fields. Thank you.
Thank you all. I've been trying to get Molly to come up, and she's kind of shy. Is that right? She says she's shy. Laura says, Vice Mayor says to behave. You want to pose here, Laura? I want to thank you all for this great job. It's just super. Thank you so much. Any other comments? Okay, another.
Child Support Awareness Month, August 2018. Whereas the Prescott Valley, Arizona joins the nation in recognizing August as Child Support Awareness Month and reaffirms its commitment to strengthening Arizona's families by providing child support services to improve the economic stability and well-being of children. And whereas Child Support Awareness Month salutes the diligent working parents who spend time with their children and who make regular child support payments to safeguard their children's future. And whereas community partnerships serve children and families through a variety of programs and targeted resources, which help support Arizona's by promoting awareness of needs and assistance to meet those needs while encouraging individual responsibility and working toward greater self-sufficiency. And whereas a child who receives emotional and financial support is more likely to feel safe and secure and are better equipped with the courage to be their very best in life. And whereas strengthening individuals and families with an emphasis on fiscal responsibility promotes the safety and well-being of children, provides stability, improves the lives of children, and provides opportunities for families to be able to enhance their children's future. And whereas informed parent can help make the child support system work, and with the state, local, and tribal child support programs, legislatures, and courts rallying to improve collaborative efforts for families. And whereas the Department of Economic Security Division of Child Support Services is robustly committed to putting Arizona's children first and to humbly serving Arizonans with excellence, respect, integrity, and kindness, as well as being an overall champion for economic growth and opportunity. Now, therefore, I, Harvey C. Skoog, Mayor of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim August 2017 as Child Support Awareness Month.
Thank you, Diane. Vice Mayor, comments?
And what we want to do is make a fair child support order for the entire family. So, thank you. Oh. My name is Tammy Clark, and I am the supervisor for Yavapai County Child Support, and we are located at 3262 Bob Drive.
And that's right here in Prescott Valley, right by our old town hall. We sure appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, Vice Mayor?
Well, I volunteered there, and I want you to know that she spoke every word of the truth.
Now you want to pose for a picture, Laura? Next, we have a certificate of appreciation to Fred Stoneburner for 15 years of service. Fred here? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Officer, Officer Monteith. I went one line too far. Chief?
Scott, you want to come up here? So, Mayor and Council, tonight we're here to honor Officer Scott Monteith with the Police Chief Commendation Award. So first I want to talk to you about what that is. The Police Chief Commendation may be conferred upon employees or an organizational section or unit which perform outstanding service or valor, similar to but to a lesser degree than required for either the Medal of Valor, Police Star, or Life-Saving Medal. So Officer Monteith on May 19, 2018, responded to a call for a suicidal subject in the 6000 block of North Union. Dispatch stated that a female subject had consumed a large amount of pills and then left the residence, stating that her mom and daughter would find her body in a field somewhere. When Officer Monteith arrived, he found Tanya walking near this intersection of Cattle Track and Moonlight Way. He informed the woman that he was there to check on her because her family was concerned, but she denied doing anything and just continued walking into the house. Officer Monteith walked into the house behind her, and the woman's daughter made a statement that the woman was going to kill herself if she was alone in the residence. Officer Monteith radioed that he was going into the house and followed her in. By the time he went into the house, the woman had armed herself with 2 large kitchen knives, including one approximately 12-inch long butcher knife. Officer Monteith found her in the bathroom of the house and called for backup. He then drew his handgun and started talking to the woman, trying to get her to drop the knives. Officer Monteith was able to talk the woman into dropping one of them, and when another officer arrived, he switched to his taser. The woman then moved towards the 2 officers, and Officer Monteith used his taser, which immediately neutralized the threat, and the woman dropped the remaining knife, as she fell to the ground. It should be noted that during her transport to the hospital, the woman started throwing up. It admitted that she had ingested a large amount of trazodone prior to police showing up. Officer Monteith's quick action, response, and decision-making, including the decision not to let her wander about by herself and then leave the scene, allowed for the woman to be transported and receive the necessary medical and mental health treatment. And for that, he has been awarded the police chief's commendation. You gonna let her off the hook?
Hang right there. Let's see if the council has any. Vice Mayor, any comments?
Well, it's another example of what we share consistently and why we're the safest city in northern Arizona, why we're the 12th safest in the state. Town. Yes, sorry. I'm sorry, say that again. 10th safest, okay. That's even better than 12. So, you're another one. You want to be unsung, and we're embarrassing you, but we're enjoying it.
Any comments? Marty?
Yeah, this is just another situation where it could have gone wrong in so many different ways at any given point during the confrontation. I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Hopefully the woman is doing better and getting the treatment she needs. And again, it's the training that we give our officers and their ability to make these split-second decisions when it is most important to act. And this one turned out pretty good for everybody. So we appreciate what you've done, and I'm sure any of our other officers in that same situation would have acted accordingly. So we appreciate it. This time it was your turn, so thank you.
Rick, do you have any comments? No. Mary?
I would just like to thank you also and appreciate your service to our community. I appreciate your family and the support that they give you and the support that they give our community that helps you do the tremendous and amazing job that you do. Thank you again. God bless you.
Michael?
Yeah, I always say this. I look at the police logs just about every day, and so sometimes you don't have an idea of what's going on, and a lot of times if we have an incident or situation like that, we don't know the outcome. And when you look at other incidents around the country, I think our department probably outshines a lot of them because I think it's because of the training and the professional officers that we have on the department that are able to make those decisions in a flash of a second. And in this case, I think you saved that woman's life, obviously. And I think if she hasn't told you, I think we're going to tell you thank you for your ability to save her life, and thank you for your service.
Jody?
Officer Monteith, I thank you as well. I know that when you go into your shift, you never know what is going to be there that day, but you were at the right place at the right time, and I'm sure that you got on adrenaline quite a bit, and that's stressful, but you handled it really well, and you modeled it for other officers as well. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Mrs. Officer, 20 minutes.
I'll say something, but not 20 minutes. I just wanted to say that this man, like, ever since I married him 19 years ago, this is all he's ever wanted to do. And I'm just really grateful. I can't speak to every officer, obviously, but I know that he goes out every single day caring about all of you, like, probably more than he should sometimes, because it totally tears them up. But I'm just really grateful to have officers out there, like my husband, who care so much about people and not just doing their job, punching a paycheck, getting paid. So I'm grateful for you and for all the others like you.
Officer, you've done a super job. You're out.
Just real quick, obviously I want to thank my beautiful wife, my rock. Thank you all for your kind words. Not a man of many words, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know what? It's the deed that counts and the heart that you put into it. Chief, any other comments? Thank you so much, and keep up the good work. Chamber of Commerce, who's here? Brady, are you here? Come on in.
Thank you very much, Mayor. So working at the Chamber is fantastic. I think Prescott Valley urges closer every single day towards having one of just about everything. I think that's fantastic for a place that we live, and I have the pleasure of introducing one of those, one of everythings. Today I would like to introduce Tim Babcock with TB Relationship Coaching.
Thank you, Brady. As you said, my name is Tim Babcock from TB Relationship Coach. I started this company in Prescott Valley because I noticed that there was many men and women who struggle to find a stable relationship. As a coach, my mission is to help them, give them the skills and the tools to find their ideal partner. My phone number is 916-337-6964. And on my not on my website yet, but my email is tjbabcock76@yahoo.com. And what I also do is work with groups, work with singles groups around Prescott Valley. I work with one-on-one, and then I do presentations as well. So if anybody needs a presentation or a group coach, I'm your man. So thank you.
Sure. Just as we get closer, the Prescott Valley Chamber is very excited about the 40th anniversary celebration we have coming up. So thank you very much.
Okay, now we're ready for Fred Stoneburner. Fred, are you here? Here he is. And who's
going to come up and terrorize and embarrass you?
Do you have any comments on that, Diane?
Yes, we do, Mayor.
Here's what we have.
This is written to you, Fred, and it's from Jason Elmer, the Parks and Rec manager. And he says, I would like to take this opportunity to express my appreciation and honest thanks for the tremendous time and energy you have spent during the last 15 years with the town of Prescott Valley. I, as well as the rest of the team, are very proud of the work you perform for the Parks and Recreation Department. We appreciate your dedication and creativity in finding creative solutions to unforeseen obstacles that emerge in day-to-day operations. You act as not only a motivated team player, but as a loyal and honest employee for our town in serving the community. You consider all tasks with critical eye, passing all the information through your personal filter. You use past experiences to better your judgment and make solid choices that will only impact your team and department in a positive way. This is the exact type of employee this department needs, and this is why we are grateful for having you here. Thank you for giving your community and this organization your last 15 years of service. We at the town of Prescott Valley look forward to many more successful years of service from you. Thanks, Fred.
Thank you. And this is the first time that Brian has been slow in coming up. He usually runs to the microphone. Mike, Brian, come on up.
Fred, I tell you what, it's been fun. It's you've arrived 5 years before me. You've kept the park's moving right along. I apologize for damaging your equipment. Fred trusted me with the mower one day, and, well, I got it stuck, so in doing that. But he was very gracious about that and taught me the right ways to mow his grass in his parks. So in doing those things, it is hard to believe it's been 15 years. All of a sudden, a few years back, you were running around holding hands with a pretty girl back there in the back. Now we've got a 5-year-old young man over here and a beautiful 1.5-year-old young lady back there. It's just been fantastic seeing not only you grow, but grow within our team and everything. And then Public Works started a few years ago sneaking up on employees that are receiving their recognition. So I'll warn you, your supervisor's directly behind you. He might come up here and hug you and kiss you in front of everybody. I don't know if that'll take place, but I just wanted to warn you in doing that. All right. Well, congratulations. It's been an awesome 15. Give her another 15 and we'll set you up well, all right? All right, buddy.
You know what? I'm really aware of how many, I'm going to call them the commonly used term, unsung heroes that we have on our staff here. How would you enjoy the parks if we didn't have someone who cared about our parks, who sounds like he got upset about a piece of equipment? And that would be appropriate because then he couldn't take care of the parks. You know, I've been around way too long. I've watched so many employees come and go. I want to compliment you for staying with us, for being part of the team, and creating this fabulous community that we have here.
Council, care to comment? Mike?
Yeah, I think it's always nice that we're able to recognize our employees, and it's something I'm amazed because we have a lot of employees come by, and obviously you have had a lot of time and experience with the town of Prescott Valley, and I think that gives us an edge in terms of, especially in Parks and Recreation, in terms of how we present ourselves to the public. And I think this is always one area, like the library, that a lot of our residents see. So we're proud of the work that you do, and I agree with the mayor. I hope you can stay another 15 years.
Greg, did you have a comment?
Well, I just want to thank you so much for all the work you've done for the town. And it's because of the longevity of our employees that we are so successful. So, again, I want to thank you for everything you've done for us and hope to see you around for a lot longer.
Greg and Marty?
Yeah, congratulations on 15 years. I think that's great. And, you know, as Laura Lee and Rick said, you know, these are our unsung heroes. And the longevity that they have is also attributed to the loyalty of the town to our employees, which in turn relates back to our employees being loyal to us and staying with us. It's, you know, if you look at a lot of communities and businesses, people jump around a lot to try to advance themselves. You know, they leapfrog from company to company or city and town, you know, to try to get ahead and get a higher. But we're very fortunate, you know, in another month or so, we're going to have someone coming up here who'll be celebrating 20 years with the town. So, and in the past, we've seen 15, 20-year employees. So the loyalty and trust that they have in us and the trust we give to them is really great. And so, again, thank you, and we hope to see you another 15 years. Thank you.
Miss Mary.
Yes, I'd just like to thank you also. You know, 15 years, the dedication brings stability to our community. It brings a commitment, and it also shows that you have a heart in this service that you do for this town. And that's really important. And so we appreciate it because it's a priceless gift. Thank you.
Michael? I'm sorry, Jody. I lost track. We have too much rejoicing going on tonight.
All good. Fred, I have to ask you, you know, in the 15 years, you probably have done a lot of different types of work within the department. And so, like, what was your favorite so far?
Favorite?
Yeah.
There's a few favorites, but mine is actually being able to perform a task, and I do a lot of the turf mowing, and I'm able to look behind me and see a very beautiful product that I provide, and now my children get to enjoy that. So it even puts more of my heart into it. I'd have to say that's my favorite.
Thanks for putting your heart into it.
It is with great joy that I present you with this plaque representing your achievements, and I think you'll enjoy this as well. I'll let you just read that bottom line there.
$150 gift plus 20% to cover taxes to be included in your paycheck. Thank you. I did have a comment. One of the part of the things in my years of being here, I've seen some events go and some events become new and come in. And one of the ones that was mentioned earlier and everything was Healing Fields. Myself personally, I love seeing that. So to everybody that's involved in that, my hat's off to you. But I love making that turf look very beautiful right before you guys pluck them in the ground. So I just wanted to say that's just one of them. I really enjoy that. Thank you.
We sure appreciate everything you've done and keep up the good work. Another 15 years or 20 years. Never know. Huh? Keep it up. Council comments, communications. Marty?
Me again. Anyway, next week we have an event coming up. It's a fundraiser for the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center. It's called Hope Still Floats. It's taking place at Stone Ridge. Tickets are $50 a person. There's going to be a silent auction and a live auction there. There's also going to be all kinds of fun and games. I'll be there. I'll be running the wine toss. It's probably not what you're thinking. We're going to have it's a ring toss game, and if you land it on the bottle of wine, you get to win it. This is I believe our 5th or 6th year doing it. If you need information, go to yfac.org, and you can purchase the tickets off the website there. Like I said, it's $50. It's really a worthwhile event. There's going to be a whole bunch of people there, and the food's going to be really good. So I guarantee it. Thank you.
Jody?
Thank you, Mayor. We have our 40th wedding anniversary, but our 40th town anniversary here on August 25th and 26th. But I think there is going to be a wedding, and Vice Mayor is going to talk about that. But for people to find information, they can go on our website at pbaz.net. And then also, we just have some new flyers that are out. So on Saturday, we have some wonderful things, such as a car show. It will be going on, art show, our town history experience. A couple of them contests. There's the Good Witch, Bad Witch contest. So let's dress up as Glinda, the Wicked Witch of the West, or Glinda, the Good Witch, or the Wicked Witch of the West. And there are prizes for that. Also, we have the Lion's Mate and the Beard contest. So if you have great beards, come on over. You could get some prizes for that as well. We have also Hollywood Squares that'll be going on that later on that afternoon. And there's music, there's food, there's the largest fireworks show in northern Arizona that evening as well. You'll be able to see it here from the Civic Center campus. On Sunday, I know Vice Mayor is going to talk about that. But there's a show and tell road show that our Historical Society will be putting on as well. Multiple events. Again, you can find information on our Facebook page. There's going to be information in the local newspaper as well, and at our website.
Laura?
one of the things we must have happen, since we're celebrating the 40th year of our incorporation, Jody wanted us to do a reenactment. And Michael and the mayor and myself and Carm Staker and Tom Thurman and Nancy Smith are going to be doing that. Now, it might sound like it's boring. No, it's not. Because some of the citizens didn't want to incorporate, and we're going to share some of that with you. We're going to have Cowboy Church, and following Cowboy Church, we are having a wedding. A bona fide wedding. We're so excited, and we have the possibility of a second couple, but they haven't confirmed. We also have 4 couples that want to repeat their vows. So if anybody out there wants to repeat their vows or tell people about it, the reason we want this to happen is we want these couples to become part of our history. You will become a permanent part of the history of Prescott Valley.
Any other? If there's no further communications, we'll move on to a consent agenda. Tonight, Jody Rooney will read that.
All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Item A, approving the July 19th work study minutes. Item B, approving a Series 6 bar liquor license application for J&J Equine Enterprises doing business as Arizona Downs, located at 10401 East State Route 89A, Joseph Jackson applicant. C, approving a special event liquor license for the Bill Williams Mountain Men Steak Fry at 2757 Truewood Drive, Ron Jacola applicant. D, approving the purchase of one new vehicle, 2018 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 in the amount of $25,011.90. E, approving the ADFFM grant agreement in the amount of $113,586 for the Upper Verde River Watershed Protection Coalition. F, approving the selection committee July 26, 2018 minutes. G, approving the payment to the Arizona Department of Revenue for $106,667.69 for their administration and collections assessment fee for fiscal year 2018-19. H, accounts payable for May 14 and July 31st, 2018. I, approving the contract with Yavapai Regional Medical Center for prescribed naloxone. J, approving the purchase of 5 police vehicles in the budgeted amount of $268,460.54. K, approving the purchase of pedestrian signal boxes from JTB Supply Company in the total amount of $19,432.64. L, approving the requisition amount of $140,000 for fiscal year 18 for professional services provided by Sage Consulting to the Upper Verde River Watershed Protection Coalition. M, authorizing the mayor to sign resolution number 2064, adopting the updated guidelines and authorizing submission of an application for state housing funds. N, approving department records. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, there's one item that we've already approved as the May 14th accounts payable, but I guess it won't hurt to approve that again. Anyone want to pull an item and discuss separately, or do you want to approve it as a whole?
Mr. Mayor, I'd be happy to make a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda.
Okay.
And I'll second that,
We
Mayor.
have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
Vice Mayor Nye?
Yes.
That's unanimous, Mayor. Passes.
Okay. Then we'll go on to second reading of ordinance number 850, zoning map change number 18005, Green Trust. We've discussed that very heavily last week. I don't know if there's any more comments. First of all, I'd ask the town clerk to read ordinance number 850 by title only for the second reading. Diane?
Ordinance number 850. An ordinance of the Mayor and Common Council of the Town of Prescott Valley, a municipal corporation of Arizona, amending the town zoning map by changing the zoning classification of an approximately 12-acre parcel located on the west side of State Route 69, approximately 600 feet north of the State Route 169, from R1L-70, Residential Single Family Limited, and C1, Commercial Neighborhood Sales and Services, to C3, PAD, Commercial Minor Industrial Planned Area Development Zoning, with conditions, and providing that this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after its passage and approval according to law.
Anyone have any questions? Or shall we ask you if the ordinance shall pass? Would you, if there's no questions, would you set the vote, Diane?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move on to number 11, new business for review, comment, and/or action. A is consideration of appointing Lindsay Quisenberry to the Arts and Culture Commission. Laura?
Well, I'm delighted to do this. Come on up. One position on the Arts and Culture Commission became open when Nina Kane resigned effective April 18, 2017. Nina Kane was first appointed to the Arts and Culture Commission on January 28, 2016, to fill an existing term with a renewal date of June 30, 2016, and was reappointed to a second term with a renewal date of June 30, 2019. The vacancy was advertised and one applicant was received. Myself, Councilman Rick Anderson, and Marnie Grossman conducted the interview, and we are recommending the appointment of Lindsay. I'm having a hard time calling you that.
I know.
Quisenberry to fill the vacancy made by Nina Kane's departure with a term renewal date of June 30th, 2019.
Thank you.
Link, why don't you share with everybody why you were willing to serve on this commission?
I came here from Oregon, and I fell in love with Prescott Valley. I love our community, the way we communicate. I love our events and how accessible they are, and I am very excited to be a part of that continued success.
Well, we're the same degree of excitement to have you give your time and your talents, and I happen to know you have a lot of energy to give, so I'm excited about that.
Any further comments?
I'm just happy to get started, and I'm here to help.
Questions, comments, motions, commotions?
I want to make some commotion, Mayor, about Link here. She has a lot of creativity. She's pretty savvy as well. She loves her community, and I'm just really grateful that she's serving today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Councilmember Jody.
Good.
No, I'm not going to make a motion. I just want to say something. It's funny. Word came down that you were going to be applying, and a lot of us were really excited for it, and of course we had to go through the interview process to make sure you qualified and all, and you passed with flying colors. It was a fun interview. We totally enjoyed it, and we know that you're going to make your mark with the Arts and Culture Commission. We look forward to seeing what comes from it.
Thank you. As do I.
Rick?
I'll be happy to make a motion.
Okay, I think we're ready.
Okay. Motion to appoint Lindsay Quisenberry to the Arts and Culture Commission with a renewal date of, or do you have that?
Yeah, it's June 30th, 2019,
By electronic vote.
and I'd love to second that.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded.
Mr. Mayor, we do have, I think, a member of the Arts and Culture Commission like to get up and say a few words before we vote. Is that possible?
Thank you, Mike.
Good evening. My name is Robert Wertz, currently serve on the Arts and Culture Commission. I'd like to welcome Lindsay to the commission. Look forward to working with you. I'd also like to thank the council for making the recent changes to the composition of the commission so that we can more effectively achieve quorums to conduct our official business.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any other comments? If not, would you set the vote? No, Diane? No, this is where the test comes, Lindsay. Not coming up.
You're not seeing the motion screen?
No.
Oh, isn't it?
Nope.
Nothing.
You have a motion and a second? No,
Rick made the motion.
I made the second.
I have a motion, I have no second.
Laura made
I made it. I'll make it again.
Now it's there. Thank you. That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Lindsay, congratulations. Thank you
It's
so much.
official.
Yay!
Okay, next one, consideration of appointing Vicki Anderson to the Personnel Board. And I bet this is going to be a challenge. Laura?
Yeah, I don't know how much luckier we can get than we are. One position on the Personnel Board became open when Mary, I can't even say the name, Graceffa, yes, stepped down from the non-exempt alternate member to the appointment as a full non-exempt member on April 17, 2018. Mary Graceffa was first appointed to the Personnel Board non-exempt alternate member on November 16, 2017, to an existing term with a renewal date of April 25, 2018. The non-exempt alternative member position was advertised and one application was submitted. Myself and council members Rick Anderson and Marty Grossman conducted the interview and recommend the appointment of Vicki Anderson to fill the vacant Personnel Board non-exempt alternate member position made open by Mary Graceffa with a renewal date of April 25th, 2020. And we really want to thank you, and maybe they'd be interested in why you were willing to serve on this board.
We're going to limit it to 19 minutes. You're up.
Well, as some of you might know,
Yeah,
I
pull the
really
microphone.
love public speaking, so I could probably stand here for hours and speak, but I'll be real brief. I'm just looking forward to being on the board, and I thank you. And the grueling interview was very, very nice.
You came in so nervous.
I know. I'm here too. So, no, I'm very much looking forward to being a part of the board. Something I've been interested in for quite a while in my tenure. I've been here 14 years, so I figured I better jump the chance because they don't come open very often.
Well, we were delighted that you would be willing.
We're very glad to have you on board.
Well, thank you.
Anyone care to mark a motion or a commotion or a demotion?
I'd like to make a motion. Motion to appoint Vicki Anderson to the Personnel Board with a term with a renewal date of April 25th, 2020 by electronic vote.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second the motion.
The motion and a second. Would you set the vote? Okay, this is a test now. We'll see if
That
it
passes unanimously, Mayor.
Vicki, congratulations
It's
and thank you so
official.
much.
Thank you, Vicki.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on to C, consideration of authorizing mayor to sign resolution number 2063, adopting and approving the final passage of Final Development Plan, FDP 18007, for recreational vehicle storage area for Galpin Ford.
Mayor, Council, you just approved the ordinance, the second reading. This is the final development plan associated with the proposed development of the parcel that you rezoned. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed the preliminary development plan simultaneously when they proffered their recommendation to you to approve the zoning map change that you've done so this evening. The site plan that has been provided illustrates up to 260 RV spaces on this 12-plus acre parcel, combined with a office facility, entrance feature, and parking for potential customers. The configuration, as illustrated on the final development plan, meets or exceeds the town's standards. We recommend approval. I would respond to any questions that you may have.
Questions, anyone? I think this is one we studied too.
Plus, it's the right location, and
You know what's right next door?
yeah,
RV storage.
yeah, imagine that.
Mary, you got a comment?
No, sir, I was going to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion, Mayor, to authorize the mayor, or in his absence, the vice mayor, to sign resolution number 2063, adopting and approving a final development plan, FDP 18-007, for a recreational vehicle storage area for Galpin Ford.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Hey, thank you, Diane. We move on to D, consideration of approving the proposed release of listed obligation under May 31st, 2001 development agreement by new purchaser of terraces apartments for consideration of $50,000.
Mr. Mayor and Council,
Evan?
yeah, I'll go ahead and talk to that. Is there anyone here from Virtue Investments? We didn't know if they were coming tonight. But you see in front of you there that history about Glassford Hill, and I'm sure you read that with you know, the enjoyment that you always have when it comes to lengthy histories about projects. And you can see that there have been a lot of things, a lot of actions that have been taken up there, and one of those that was involved was back in 2001, a development agreement where we facilitated the construction of terraces apartments at Glassford Hill. The concept was for that to be built in two phases. The largest phase was in fact constructed, but the second phase never has been. It was originally going to be done by about 2006, but around that time, 7 and 8, as you know, there was the Great Recession, and so phase 2 never happened. The apartments have been sold from time to time. They've apparently been a successful business, and so they've sold. And I think we're coming up on the second or third or fourth owner of the apartments. One of the things that happens when lawyers look over documents is that sometimes they'll say to their clients, we're a little bit concerned. We see that your predecessors should have built a phase 2 by 2006, and we don't have any indication that the town's ever come after anybody because that didn't happen. But we are afraid to advise you to go forward with your purchase unless the town is willing to waive that requirement. And so we were approached about waiving it. We indicated that no, we weren't inclined to waive that. We were hoping to see phase 2 be built. So they came back and said, well, look, if we offer you some consideration, would you be willing to then waive this phase 2 requirement and essentially end the development agreement so that it doesn't apply to us for the next 3 years? It's supposed to end in 2021. They wanted to end it early in 2018 in relation to this phase 1 part of the project. They offered to let phase 2 still be potentially done by the owners of the property that phase 2 would have been on. The folks that own that have not responded to requests by various people to find out what they want to do with the property, whether they'd be willing to sell it as open space. They've essentially just not responded. And so the proposed agreement now in front of you is to agree to end the obligations of the development agreement with respect to phase 1, with the exception that they would continue to pay what's called a surcharge that essentially is similar to a transaction privilege tax. And so it'll be going forward the amount of 2.83% on the monthly rentals that are collected. and they'll pay that to the town. And that's something that was part of the development agreement. It was intended to continue after the development agreement ended, and so these new owners are willing to continue paying that. And they're agreeing as part of this release to keep paying that, even though the rest of the development agreement will no longer apply to them. They're offering $50,000 as the consideration for us agreeing to that. And then hopefully we'll still be in a position to continue to talk to the owners of Phase 2 and see what might or might not happen in the future. The primary hope, frankly, is that that might be able to be turned into open space. So do you have any questions about all
Questions, comments? Marty?
Yeah, just for clarification and for the public. So Phase 1, which is existing now, and Phase 2, which has not yet been built, are two separate owners. So the owner of Phase 2 could still apply and do construction on that site, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And also in return, we're also collecting an additional tax in lieu of what we might have made as sales tax, correct?
Correct. We don't have a sales tax on residential rentals. And so this was a contractual agreement years ago to apply this surcharge in lieu of that.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, motions? Emotions? Mike?
Well, I had a comment. I think it's interesting because I wasn't aware before this came before us, the situation with the terraces. And I do like the resolution here, and I'm an optimist, so hopefully the owner of the Phase 2 will carry on and perhaps designate it as an open space. And as you know, we do have a great competition right now for rentals, and so that's something that we're hoping will be available in the future to reduce the demand for that. But I think this is a great resolution. So if there's no other comments, I'd be more happy to make a motion.
I think we're ready.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the proposed release of certain obligations under May 31, 2001 development agreement by the new purchases of the Terraces apartment for consideration of $50,000.
I'll second that.
We got the motion and the second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we've gone to number E, consideration of approving a professional service agreement with Civil Tech Engineering in the amount of $39,674 for Legend Larry Well Project, CIP number W438. Neil, you are up. And you gave us a good presentation on this here last.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. Actually, I brought another presentation, but then I didn't even load it on the computer. I thought, you know what? You guys saw it like 2 weeks ago, and you probably saw it 2 weeks before that, so I figured you would just throw stuff at me if I did that, so I'm not going to do a presentation.
Oh, we thank you for that wisdom, don't we, Mayor?
You're catching on quick, Neil.
Yeah. So just for everybody else, this contract would be with Civil Tech Engineering for doing the actual design work for the Legend Larry well site. It's the above ground portion of the well site, the electrical, plus also the pump that goes in the hole in the ground that's being designed by somebody else. And so I did mention to you last time that this is the first well that we will start the design process for, because the well was already drilled and cased a number of years ago. We're doing some pump testing right now, and then that will determine what size pump we can put in there and where that pump will be located. Civil Tech will take that information and design all the above ground pertinences and things, and then we'll do 3 more wells here in the upcoming month or two. So, but this is for the agreement with Civil Tech in the amount of $39,674. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions, anyone? No questions, comments, motions. Mike?
Well, I just had a comment. I think, we've heard some of the issues we had with some of our wells in terms of equipment, and I think everybody's looking forward to getting started. So hopefully we can get this project underway pretty quick. So I'd be happy to make a motion Make a motion to approve the professional services agreement with Civil Tech Engineering in the amount of $39,674 for the Legend Larry Well Project CIP number W438.
I'll be glad to make a second.
Okay, we have the motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Dan?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Yeah, approve it. No, good job.
Mr. Mayor, I did want to let you know I met the legendary Larry, I think, last Friday, so.
You did? Okay, good. Okay, move on to F now. Consideration of awarding a contract for Civic Center parking lot rehabilitation project to Regional Pavement Maintenance under the Mojave contract number 14Y-RPMA-0317 for a contract in the amount of $33,518.09. Neil, Norm, you go right to the penny, don't you?
Yes, we do sometimes. Thank you, and good evening, Mayor and Council. Unlike Neil, I do have a presentation because I do have a few things I want to show you about these items. What I am to talk with you tonight is about parking lots. If you recall, when we did our budget presentations back in early May, I said this is the year of the parking lot. I remember getting some chuckles from Council. Well, this is the budget year of parking lots. You may recall we just got done with the event center, some parking lot work there, some sealing and getting those things tuned up. Well, now we're switching to our town facility here and our 3 buildings and the 3 parking lots that serve each one of our particular town buildings. What you see up here is one of the latest arrows we have. And just to give you a little history for the public's benefit, you know, the police building is the oldest building here, has the oldest parking lot. So, of course, as you move forward, the Civic Center was built in '99. Of course, the library about 8 years ago. So each parking lot has its particular age. They're all asphaltic parking lots. So as asphaltic pavements age, and especially parking lots, they do need maintenance. So this exhibit you see up above here, fortunately, all 3 parking lots have made the FY 18-19 budget, and in each facility's budget, library, Civic Center, and police department budget all have separate facilities budget, and they're all due to get their particular parking lots rehabilitated. So as you can see, some of the depictions there, obviously the library being the newest building doesn't need a whole lot of maintenance, just basically a paint job. The Civic Center particular parking lot, you see if it's the checkered areas, which being green and white, those areas have seen a little bit of particular use, and we've actually doing some removal and replacement in just some spot areas where there's been some failures to get it back up to a good service level. And if you move over to the police parking lot, the oldest there, we've got a lot of work to do. So we've kind of held that one off. The next 2 items are going to be for the library and the Civic Center, but we haven't forgot about the library. But what we want to do, obviously, since the roof construction's going on right now, they're occupying a lot of the parking lot with some of the materials for the roof. We're going to put that one off till spring. So getting back to the item at hand with that overview, I guess we're on. So the item you have in front of you, Mayor, Council, is for the library parking lot. You can see depicted here in the pink shade all the asphaltic pavement of the library building. And with this being an 8-year-old pavement, basically what we're going to do is just do an asphaltic oil paint job. Doesn't need a whole lot of rehabilitation. So we'll perform that and then actually do a restriping. So we'll clean the lot and give it a good routine maintenance that is good for the life cycle of our pavement maintenance. So as the RFCA council action calls out, we are using the state procurement Mojave contract, which is competitively bid, and we realize many efficiencies. This is specialized work, so we get a specialized contract to equipment and realize a lot of efficiencies by using that state contract that is available statewide to other government agencies. So basically this parking lot will get a asphaltic paint job, and the work will be performed as if council moves forward the award. We do plan to do this this month on a Sunday, so we don't impede any of the customers at the library. So the library shut down, the contractor's more than willing to come in on Sunday, do the sealing, doing some of the striping, and by the time Monday comes around, most of the lot will be striped. They can finish it off, and that goes pretty fast. So that's what's in front of you. This would come out of the library's facilities maintenance budget, and at this time I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions, anyone? I think, Marty, you got a question? Hey, be good.
I'll make a motion to award the contract for the Civic Center parking lot rehabilitation project to Regional Pavement Maintenance under the Mojave contract number 14Y-RPMA RPMA-0317 for the contract amount of $33,518.09 by electronic vote.
And I'll second that, Mayor.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
I might point out that that's not the one that you were just talking about. It's the one that's
Order.
next. So the one you were talking about is, I believe,
Yeah, I think I noticed that with the
after that.
price.
So, but that's okay. You want to just talk briefly about the one we just did the motion on?
I do. So let's talk about the Civic Center parking lot. Yeah, forgive me, I got a different order here.
We have to complete a motion here first, I believe, Ivan. It's still hanging out there with partial votes.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, Diane?
Well, yes, we have not completed the motions or the voting on the motions that were made, so it's still, we can't change subjects till we finish that discussion. Whether it be the Civic Center or the library, we have to finish it.
Go ahead and move with the Civic Center, Ivan. That'd be
You've
good.
already taken the vote, so do you want to just...
The vote is not complete. That's what I'm saying. I have 6 votes. One just got completed. Thank you, Councilmember Rooney. That's unanimous, Mayor.
That passes. Okay. Now let's... Okay, we're going to number I. Consideration of approving the application of U.S. Department of... I'm sorry, H. Consideration of approving the amendment to the professional service agreement. G. Go to G.
We have to back up.
Consideration of awarding... Laura, read that one, would you?
All right. Where are we backing up? Because we skipped over.
G.
All right. Just want to read the right one. Consideration of awarding a contract for the library parking lot rehab project to Regional Pavement Maintenance under the Mojave contract number 14Y RPMA 0317 for the contract amount of $20,911 and the interesting 8 cents.
Norm, how'd you do that to us?
Yeah, boy, I really screwed you all up, so yeah, this is on me. So, we talked about the library parking lot, we better to keep to this, so I think I've talked plenty about this one, and
Well, they're both the same contract number, right? So we are, even though one is the library and one is the civic center, it's still under the same contract. So
Yes.
we haven't strayed too far, just for everybody who's watching.
Questions? Anything else? Anything to add to it?
yeah, we talked about doing the work on a Sunday later this month, so basically paint job and restriping, so heard my comments about the library.
Okay.
Mayor, I'll make a motion for this.
We're ready, I think.
Make a motion to award the contract for the library parking lot rehabilitation project to Regional Pavement Maintenance under the Mojave contract number 14Y RPMA-0317 for the contract amount of $20,911
I'll second.
and 8 cents.
And we have a second to that. Would you set the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you. Norm, get those 2 jobs done. Appreciate it.
And we'll get them straight here, we'll make sure we do the right one in order. But separate budget accounts, and that's why we had to split them out, so that's best for the council action.
Too many parking lots.
No, I think we go to number G. H,
No,
I'm sorry.
H. Isn't it H?
Consideration of approving the amendment to the professional service agreement with Lion Engineering for utility contract coordination on Sunset Lane project in the amount of $29,370. Don't get us confused, Norm.
That's too easy.
All right, Mayor, I think I'm on track now, so I apologize for the last going in the wrong order. So the one we are talking about here, that in the correct order, is the current project we're working on with the partnership of Sunset Lane Improvements. As you can see from the exhibit up here, Council has seen this before. We've been through the design stage in the past. We've approved an intergovernmental agreement with the county for this project partnership. As you can see, Sunset Lane, we've talked a lot about this. Basically, the improvements will be a third lane in the middle and curb gutter and sidewalks to the existing two-lane road.
Sidewalk on both sides?
Sidewalk on both sides, Mayor. That's depicted in the exhibit. One thing about these significant transportation projects like this, there is as much investment in the underground before we even start the roadway work. The roadway work is probably most visible with the public, but we have a very large storm drain system put in here, and what that requires, there's new water lines because this is a corridor for utilities. Individually, and in addition, every utility company has significant improvements to do to accommodate the new roadway design. So where we're currently at is the plans were 100% complete this past May, and what we're moving forward with is a utility relocations to accommodate a lot of the underground improvements that will go on in Sunset Lane. As I explained, the storm drain improvements are significant, in addition to some gravity sewer adjustments and the like. So even Neal's Utilities with water and sewer is involved in the roadway project. Currently, we've partnered with and given plenty of advance notice to the other utility companies that occupy that 50 feet of right-of-way out there. So you've got the gas company, the wire utilities being Arizona Public Service, CenturyLink, Cable One, all the particular utilities in there have to do significant relocations. And in fact, their investment's probably as much as a roadway investment. Ultimately, I would speculate there's about $10 million worth of improvements on this 4,000 feet of improvement. So the utilities, the current construction, roadway construction project, we're currently going out and talking with residents, getting temporary construction easements from each individual resident in anticipation that the roadway project would bid around the first of the year and start spring of 19. Well, the utilities have to be obviously relocated in advance of that particular timeline. So where we're at, they've finished their 100% plans, and actually the utility companies are starting the relocations. Part to make sure with the significant improvement of the utility relocations, we want to make sure that they fall in line or in accordance with the roadway plans. So it's staff's recommendation that we do a construction period services with line engineering for not only utility coordination, but make sure quite a few of their utility relocations accommodate the new roadway design and all the storm drain and sewer and water. So it's staff's recommendation that we enter into a professional service agreement with line engineering for $29,370 for construction period services to coordinate the utility relocations in accordance with the roadway project.
Questions, comments? Mary?
I have a comment. You know, I just want to take this opportunity ahead of time to say thank you to you, Norm. Thank you to all the agencies, all of them out there. This is a huge project. It is very daunting. And I ask that as a community, going forward for the next several months, that we be patient and understanding, because what these people are going to have to do is really almost unmanageable. And we've all wanted to make that a better road to travel. We've talked about sidewalks, and that's where we're going. But it is a very, very difficult project. So going forward, let us all work together in a good way and be patient. And again, a big thank you to all the people involved, all the agencies. Appreciate what you're doing, and at the end result, we will all be very happy. But through the construction, we will probably be pressed for patience. So, but thank you.
Any other questions from Marty?
I don't have a question. I had the occasion yesterday. I spent some time with County Supervisor Jack Smith, who is basically our partner in crime on this. But I let him know about this. He's sorry he couldn't be here tonight. He had another meeting that he had to go to. But he's very happy that we're going forward with this and we're passing this. So, you know, it's like Mary said, this is going to be a great project once it's done. But until it's done, some lives will be disrupted to a certain amount. And but it's necessary and it has to be done. So again, thank you, and we look forward to the completion of it.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, I just want to mention, I use Sunset all the time, and actually they are under construction right now. In fact, digging ditches for some of the utilities. So we're right on schedule, I think, in terms of getting this done. And so I'd be happy to make an motion if there was no other comments.
Okay, I think so.
Motion to approve the amendment to the professional services agreement with Line Engineering for utility relocation coordination on the Sunset Lane project, as described therein, in the amount of $29,370.
Second, anyone?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
It passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, Diane. Okay, move on to I. Consideration of approving the application for U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Community Oriented Policing, COPS, 2018 COPS School Violence Prevention Program, grant requiring a $400 match in the funds, school resource officer training. Chief, that was a complicated one.
That was a mouthful, Mayor.
Can you repeat it backwards for us?
No.
Okay.
So, Mayor and Council, I come here tonight to seek permission to apply for a U.S. Department of Justice grant. And basically what it is to make our schools safer. The majority of the money, if awarded, would go to the schools so that we are partnering with the schools in this endeavor. I don't know, is there anybody from the schools here tonight? No, we invited them to join us, but...
Bob was here, but he had to leave.
Oh, okay. And so we are kind of the pass-through, or the liaison, since it's through the Justice Department. But the lion's share of the money, about $300 and some thousand, $329, is going to be going to the schools so they can do improvements at the school. The police department, or the town's portion, is going to be $1,600, and that's going to be used for training for our school resource officers and some other training throughout the department. So with a 25% match, our match on that is only $400. That's the financial impact to the town. And I'd answer any questions that you might have.
Questions, anyone? Mike?
Yeah, I just had a few questions. Could you give us just a summary currently what our status is with school resource officers, who we have, where they're assigned, or how that works?
We have one.
One.
And he's assigned to Bradshaw Mountain High School.
Okay. Do we see that changing at all in the future with this grant?
No, this one is primarily for hardening the targets, so layering, if you will.
Right. Yeah. So it's more structural construction types of things.
Yeah, and some training
Right.
for both school personnel and police.
Great. Yeah, I think that's a real important aspect of how we can participate with schools to protect our students. So it's a priority for me. And I'd be happy to make a motion if there's no other comments.
Other comment? I believe we're ready.
All right. Motion to authorize a grant application CFDA 16.710 with the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Community Oriented Policing Services.
Second, Mayor.
We have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote, Diane?
That's unanimous, Mayor.
Chief?
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Keep bringing in free dollars.
We're trying.
Thank you. Okay, move on to J. Consideration of approving an award of a professional services agreement with Red Pony Rentals for the 40th anniversary celebration for a total of $19,500. Brian, you are up.
Yes, sir. Believe it or not, staff is coming to you requesting the assistance of approving this agreement so that we can party in August. So we are ready to go. This fantastic team here, indicated in the RFCA, they've done a number of different projects for Fortune 500 companies, providing very upscale services in regards to set design, construction, manufacturing. They'll be helping us out quite a bit. They're able to provide us with our performance and entertainment tent, providing that decor, setup, arrangements. They'll also be assisting out at Theater on the Green. We'll be having a main stage curtain as well as a back of stage set up to allow our performers in between sets and performances to conduct all of their operations, providing quite a bit of other technical guidance and processing throughout our events that'll be going throughout the weekend on Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th. So we're reaching out to them for their help and are asking for your assistance to be able to continue that moving forward and having a fabulous activity at the end of the month.
Questions of comments, anyone? Motions?
I'd like to make a motion on this one.
Hey, Jody?
Got to come up, though. There we go. All right, now we can make the motion to approve the award of a professional services contract with Red Pony Rentals for the 40th anniversary celebration for a total of $19,500.
I'd like to second.
We have a motion and a second. Would you set the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you. Council will put you to work, Brian.
Thank you, sir.
Go for it. Okay, comments from the public. Tonight we'll have Mike Whiting read the comments from the public. Mike?
Comments from the public. Consideration and discussion for general unscheduled comments from the public. Those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. Any such remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any member thereof. Such remarks shall be limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. At the conclusion of the unscheduled comments, individual members of the council may respond to the item addressed at the discretion of the mayor, or they may ask the town manager to review the matter or ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda.
Anyone from the public here to comment? No? So you're up. Yeah, use the microphone by all means. That's the only way we get it on tape. And you give us your name if you would.
Hi, my name's Courtney. I'm from Sonoran Prevention Works. We're a harm reduction organization that's operating out of Prescott and the Phoenix and Tucson area right now. We are largely responsible for distributing naloxone within the Prescott and Prescott Valley area. And we were just wondering, with the approval of the contract with Yavapai Regional Medical Center, if there's any action that's going to be taken around reducing stigma surrounding substance abuse or the use of naloxone, like during the distribution process.
Brian or Ivan, be able to respond. Can you do it?
Chief, do you want to address that with the naloxone?
God.
We're going to pass the buck.
Thank you for your comments. Appreciate that.
Well, first I have to say I'm not quite sure I understand the statement or question.
Would you use the microphone?
We are wondering, what does the hospital plan to do to reduce stigma and help subscribers better understand substance use disorder?
So I can't speak for the hospital. I wouldn't know. We have partnered with them. I think this is our second year now in getting the naloxone. And our officers, every officer has it, or the cars have it. And we've used it on several occasions with a great deal of success. So I'm not sure what the hospital's plans are for distribution or what there are for education. I really can't speak to that. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chief. If you have any more questions, maybe you could check with us, either Ryan Judy or the hospital as well. Thank you again. Anyone else got any comments?
Yeah, I was just going to mention, I did notice on our police log, we probably used that a couple of days ago. And generally what we do is just apply to hopefully save the life of somebody that is in need of that. So I don't think we're in a position to educate as much as maybe the hospital. So.
Thank you, Mike. Any other comments? Okay, if not, I believe we have one more item.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, mate.
We have a motion to adjourn. Anyone care to second that?
I will.
Motion and a second. Would you set the vote?
Passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming. We appreciate that.